Brand, as a lawyer who handles a lot of bankruptcy cases for people, why would you promote this upcoming class that's called FPU for people in our community?
Well, Financial Peace University is designed to help people avoid bankruptcy. And yes, we do bankruptcies, but we also help people avoid bankruptcies. We like to see people avoid it if they can, because it's such a hard thing for people to go through.
Oh, sure.
It really affects them, affects their self-image, it affects once you've done it once, it's easier to do it a second time.
Oh.
And really, one of the most important things is bankruptcy is a safety net. And if you use that safety net, then you don't get to use it again for quite a while.
Okay.
Up to 8 years.
But I'm sure you see a lot of cases of people that they get kind of in this downward spiral, and things become out of control, and then they don't have any other options.
Right.
So the class that you're sponsoring, Financial Peace University, how is that going to help people?
Well, it gives them, one of the things that's really nice about it is that from the very first class you go to, you have a plan, you have a way you can see light at the end of the tunnel, you have a way to work out of it. And that gives people peace from the very beginning. You won't have complete peace until you're out of debt and you have emergency funds and you're building wealth, and you can see that you're on your way towards being able to deal with life that way. But even the first night, when Dave Ramsey teaches the first concept, which is to have a baby emergency fund, to save enough so that you don't have to use your credit card if you have an emergency come up, people start to have peace. That's
excellent. So you mentioned Dave Ramsey. For people that aren't familiar with who he is and what he does, give us just a little short synopsis of that.
Sure. Dave Ramsey was a young man in Nashville, Tennessee, and he made a lot of money in real estate in the 80s. And then the crash of the 80s happened with real estate, and he lost everything. He spent 2 years trying to salvage things and stay out of bankruptcy, and finally he couldn't avoid it. He had to file. And through that experience, he learned a lot about what happens to people when they go broke, and how to deal with certain situations. And it started just more as a thing that he was doing for other friends who followed him through that terrible situation. And he started writing it down, and he created his first book and self-published it, and it started to sell. People said, hey, this is really helpful to me. We want this. And from there, he ended up going on the radio at a bankrupt radio station.
Oh, geez.
And he was doing his show for free, and he called it The Money Game to start with.
Okay.
And it just kind of built from there. He ended up selling thousands of his book, and people wanted to talk to him on the radio, and so it just kind of grew from a card table in his living room to the organization that he has today. And he spends most of his time teaching people how to win with money, how to get out of debt, how to build wealth, how to have financial peace.
So are we looking, what are the demographics of who you think should take this class? Is it young couples just starting out? Is it mature couples who are already experiencing a lot of wealth, or those that are just, getting themselves further in debt? Who would you say it's best for?
Well, we've had people from all ends of those spectrums. It really all of the above. People who are doing well with money, they'll come to the class and they'll recognize a lot of the things that they have been doing that are right. And he'll teach them some things that maybe will help them hone their skills. And it's really valuable to have those folks in the class, because they help the other people, see where they can get to. And then there's, of course, people who are just this close to filing bankruptcy, and those people can really benefit from it, and everybody in between.
So there's not a feeling of ever thinking that it's just too late, or we've made so many mistakes we can't fix it. This is a program or a workshop that brings hope.
Right.
And gives answers.
It depends on the situation. There are situations where people really need the bankruptcy system to help them get back on their feet. But we've found that a lot of people who think that they need to file bankruptcy really can use this program to not file.
Now, another question that I think people are going to want to know is, how much does this cost? Is it going to be a financial burden to take the class? How do they justify paying for it? I mean, what would your answer be to that?
Well, we don't charge anything for our services. We're volunteers. We do this just as a community service. Dave requires them to buy the kit. Dave Ramsey requires them to buy the kit, and that kit runs, usually it's about $119. It varies. He does specials. Sometimes you can pick it up for $99. Sometimes it's $150, and you just go to his website and you can see there.
I think that seems totally doable for anybody.
Yeah, there are people who that's really hard.
Yeah, I know.
And Zion's Bank does this wonderful thing where they'll actually do a scholarship for people who have spouses who are deployed in the military, or they'll do a scholarship for a single mother per class. And sometimes we'll help people out, especially maybe clients, that we want to see take the class and things. But really, if you can save up that money, the return on that money, get this, the people who go to the class, on average, save $5,700 or pay off $5,700 in debt and save $2,300. That's $8,000 turnaround during the time of the class.
Really, in just the time of the class, and we're talking, it's a 9-week
Right, it used
course.
to be 13 weeks, so it used to be 3 months. Now it's going to be 2 months.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see what the numbers are when that happens. But
Quickly tell us when the dates are for that, and then we want to touch on something else that's coming up for people that need to learn better leadership skills. But when's the class starting?
well, our class starts September 5th. That's a Wednesday night, and it goes from 7:30 to 9. As you said, it's a 9-week course once a week.
Okay.
And it's filling up pretty fast, but Science Bank will start their class the next week, September 13th. And there's a little difference between the classes. Our class is the what Dave Ramsey calls the church class. It's got one extra lesson on giving.
Oh, okay.
And then Zion's is doing the corporate wellness class, which is 8 weeks and doesn't include that last one.
So that starts September 5th, the other one September 13th.
Right.
What about the leadership conference that's coming up that you're also sponsoring?
Henderson Law Offices is very proud to sponsor the EntreLeadership course that Dave Ramsey teaches, the one-day version. He usually teaches this in Nashville and in person, but he's making it available live by simulcast around the country, and people are signing up to be hosts, and that's what we've done. We signed up to be a host.
Okay.
So this will be held at the Riverwoods Complex from 7:45 to about 3:30 on Friday, September 21st.
Okay.
And it's wonderful training for someone who has a business or who's thinking about a business or doing a business, or someone who is in their career wants to gain some leadership skills and how to deal with people.
Okay. So some really important life skills that you can be learned. And I understand that it's very entertaining and lively and
he
full
is
of wisdom.
a master teacher, and he's very entertaining. And I should mention too that the Small Business Development Center is also a co-sponsor.
Nice.
So,
well, if people are watching and they have a lot more questions and they want to know how to sign up, what can they do to get more information?
well, they can visit our website, www.hendersonlaw.org, and go to the events page, and there's information and some video about the events, and that's where they can also get tickets.
Perfect. Now, this is perfect for people that are watching and probably friends that they have. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's successful.
You bet.